Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm really excited to bring this to you guys, and it's a little non-scientific comparison between the brand new Sony A7S III, which I'm shooting on right now, and my Zcam E2-S6. Alright, so quick disclaimer before I show you guys the footage. I just want to let you know that I know that this is not a super scientific comparison. I'm not a very scientific guy, and I mainly did this comparison for myself to see the difference between my A7S III and my Zcam, because realistically, I don't need both cameras. And I know I said in my last video talking about this that I'm gonna keep both cameras, but I don't know, man. After shooting on this camera for a couple of weeks now, I'm so blown away with the image that I don't know if it's necessary for me to have both. So I really wanted to compare them side by side in the situations that I find myself shooting in most of the time. So just keep that in mind, that this isn't supposed to be super scientific. And yeah, I will talk to you guys about what codecs I shot in and how I colored everything right after I show you the comparison. So let's dive into the comparison right now. And I want you guys to let me know in the comments what camera you think looks better, camera A versus camera B, and which one you think is which. So let's get right into the footage right now. Alright, so after watching that little comparison right there, if you picked camera A as the Sony and camera B as the Zcam, then you are correct. Camera A was Sony and camera B was indeed the Zcam. So my 2 cents after doing this little comparison, I think that the Zcam still looks a little bit better than the A7S III, but that's a given because the Zcam is a cinema camera, and all cinema cameras just got that sauce, man. And the sauce that I'm talking about is the cinema sauce. And that's not the actual term. I'm completely making this up, but for some reason, cinema cameras just they just hit different, you know what I mean? Like they look different, they feel different, the footage is just, they just got that sauce, man. Like that special sauce sprinkled on the sensor that these mirrorless cameras just don't have. But I will say that the A7S III, it's got some sauce. Doesn't have as much, or it doesn't have the same sauce, but it's definitely got some sauce, and I'm very, very impressed with this camera. It's way better than my A7 III, that is for damn sure, but it's not exactly on the same level as the Z yet. But I am very, like I said, I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy with the image that comes out of this camera. And I think with a little bit of work and shooting on the right glass with the right filters, you can really get some cinematic qualities out of this little tiny mirrorless beast. So with that being said, let's talk about the codecs that I shot in this little comparison. And on the Z-Cam, I shot in ProRes LT in 4K. Now I know that it's a 6K camera, but like I said at the beginning of this video, I shot this test for myself, and I shot it in a way that I would shoot normal content or normal productions for my clients. And currently, for the past couple of months, I've been shooting everything on my Z in 4K in ProRes LT, because ProRes LT is not a huge difference from ProRes 422 and ProRes HQ. So to me, I'd rather save the space by recording in ProRes LT without sacrificing too much quality. And I shoot in 4K because I simply just don't need 6K. I think 6K is a little overkill for what I do anyway, so ProRes LT in 4K is what I shoot most of the time. A lot of people are already asking me to compare the Z RAW to ProRes RAW out of the A7S III, but I don't shoot Z RAW because I don't think RAW is necessary for, again, what I do. So yeah, and the Z RAW workflow is just a bit cumbersome right now because Z RAW actually isn't supported in any of the NLEs. Like you can't just drag Z RAW into Final Cut and start editing. You actually have to transcode the footage in Z-Cam's third-party plugin to ProRes. So you end up shooting Z RAW on camera, but then you bring it into the plugin and it just converts it to ProRes anyway. So my mindset when shooting on the Z-Cam is just to shoot in ProRes because Z RAW to me isn't really worth the cumbersome in the post workflow. Now on the Sony, I shot everything in 4K XAVC-S, XAVC-S, I think that's it. I don't know, all these codecs, man, they're so confusing, but that's the codec that I shot in. I used the highest bitrate in the camera, which I believe is 100 megabits per second in 422 10-bit. I didn't shoot in all-I because I don't have the CF Express Type A or Type B cards, whatever they are. And I honestly don't really plan on shooting in all-I because I've already seen some comparisons online between all-I and this XAVC-S codec. And I don't think there's a huge difference there in quality. And like I said, I'd rather save in the hard drive space without sacrificing too much quality. So yeah, I don't know, that's just me. And this is how I shoot. Like I said, this was a test mostly for myself to look and compare my two cameras. So I shot both of these cameras in their native log formats, which on the Sony is S-Log3 and on the Z-Cam it's Z-Log2. I graded all of these clips in Final Cut from scratch by just adding some contrast and saturation back into the images. Now what you can do is actually convert the color space to Rec. 709 when you import your footage into Final Cut. I don't know how Premiere works and I don't know how DaVinci works, but I use Final Cut, so I'm talking in terms of us Final Cut users. Now, if you convert your footage to Rec. 709 on import, it just uses like a standard Sony 709 LUT, which I think kind of looks like garbage. So I would much rather just kind of add saturation and contrast back into the image by pulling the curves around and adjusting my highlights and shadows and things like that. Same goes for Z-Cam. Z-Cam actually has their own plugin for Final Cut and for Premiere and for DaVinci, I think. I don't even know, but they have their own color plugin that you can use, which they recommend, but I honestly don't think that you get the most out of the footage that way. And I think if you just learn how to color grade your footage from scratch, from log, to get it the way that you want, you're gonna get way more out of the colors, out of the dynamic range. You're just gonna benefit more from it down the line. Now, I am no professional colorist. I actually think coloring is like the weakest part of my creative process, but I'm trying, I'm learning, and that's all we can do is just keep trying, keep practicing, and the more you practice, the better you get. But anyway, I've talked for way too long in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this. And yeah, if you're looking forward to seeing some more A7S III content, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stick around. If you don't want to subscribe, then You don't have to, that's cool too. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button because it just helps the channel grow, helps more eyes come and see me in this ugly mug. So yeah, that's pretty cool. If you didn't like the video, hit the thumbs down, and yeah, let me know your thoughts in the description below. Personally, like I said, I think Zcam still has a little bit of an edge over the A7S III, but I don't know. Am I gonna sell the Z? Am I gonna sell the Sony? What am I gonna do? I don't exactly know just yet, but yeah, hit me up on IG if you want to talk more about this on a personal level. I answer all my DMs there, and it's just easier for me to connect with you guys. So go follow me there, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.